Ladies and gentlemen, grab your calculators and your sense of financial disbelief. Barcelona has just agreed personal terms with Nico Williams. Yes, Barcelona. The same club that has to check their bank account before registering the ball boy is now negotiating 60 million euros transfers like it's pocket change. Don't worry about La Liga's salary cap rules, because neither does Barcelona. They're about to Houdini their way through another financial obstacle course. Let's dive into the latest chapter of Barça buys now, worries later. 1. Nico Williams. Chosen one or another luxury purchase. Barcelona have reached a verbal agreement with Nico Williams. Not a real contract, just vibes, eye contact, and possibly a pinky swear. But don't worry, they're not concerned about his 60 million euros release clause. Of course not. When has math ever stopped them before? Sure, they still have Rafinha in that exact same position, but this is Barca we're talking about. If there's one thing they love more than wingers, it's ignoring wage regulations. Barcelona's attack is starting to look like a Marvel multiverse. Too many stars, not enough screen time. They've agreed personal terms. Translation: we'll call you when we figure out how to pay for this. Williams reportedly turned down offers from Arsenal, Bayern and Liverpool to choose Barcelona. Bro saw the chaos and said, "Yup, that's my kind of club." Meanwhile, Athletic Bilbao are sitting there like, "We raised you better than this." Nico saw the chance to play with Lamine Yamal and said, "I choose friendship over logic. That's adorable, and possibly financially irresponsible." And let's not forget, Williams plays on the left wing, the same real estate Joao Felix was squatting on last season. So unless Barcelona are planning to install a traffic light system on that flank, someone's going to be benched harder than Spotify payments. But hey, Barca doesn't do squad balance, they do vibes and release clauses. 2. The Salary Cap Chronicles. La Liga versus Barcelona Season 72. Now here comes the twist. Barcelona still can't register Nico Williams, because, well, numbers. La Liga says they're over the salary cap. Barcelona says, what's a salary cap? Even Javier Tebas is tired. He said Barça can sign Joan Garcia, but might not be able to register him. So Barça is out here buying players the way we buy online courses we never use. La Liga's rules are simple: don't spend what you don't have. Barcelona's strategy: challenge accepted. Registering new players at Barça is now a reality show. Will they make it onto the team sheet before kickoff? Barca's wage budget is like a WhatsApp group chat. Everyone's in it, nobody knows who's actually contributing. They still haven't recovered from deregistering Dani Olmo last season. That's right, they lost a player to the Spanish government. That's how wild this is. Tebas giving Barça transfer advice is like a landlord reminding you rent is due every month with a sigh. And the best part, every time Barça talks about economic levers, it sounds like they're opening a medieval drawbridge. We've activated lever number 6 to buy Nico. What is this? Game of loans. At this point, even UEFA's financial fair play is watching with popcorn like, we gave up monitoring these guys years ago. 3. Money magic. The sales that keep the dream alive. But wait, there's hope. Barca raised a few coins from player sales. Como bought Alex Valley for 6 million euros. West Ham bought Jean-Claire Todibo, and Barca gets 7.8 million euros from a sell-on clause. Lenglet's contract was terminated, freeing up emotional space, if not actual salary room. It's not enough, but hey, every little counts, just like trying to pay your rent in coins. Barcelona's financial planning board must look like a board game night with Monopoly money and prayer candles. They're counting on Camp Nou renovations to save them, because nothing says financial recovery like building a stadium while you're broke. Lenglet leaving is less about savings and more about reclaiming lost dignity. Barca's books now read like a GoFundMe page. Help us register Nico. They're basically selling the furniture to afford a new TV. Priorities, right? And don't forget the classic Barca move: sneaking in sell-on clauses like it's an Easter egg hunt. They're now relying on players they sold 3 clubs ago to get transferred again so they can cash in. At this rate, if Neymar ever switches teams, Laporta might show up personally to collect his 5% like a man chasing rent. 4. Why Nico? Because dribbling fixes everything. So why the obsession with Nico Williams? Well, according to stats, only Lamine Yamal, Jamie Gittins and Jeremy Doku dribble more than him. That's right, he's fast, tricky and refuses to pass like it's a personal vendetta. He can cut inside, hit the byline, or just confuse defenders into retirement. Barca saw that and said, yes, another winger to compete with the four we already have. Williams runs at defenders the way Barca runs at financial doom, fearlessly and repeatedly. His heat map looks like someone spilled hot sauce on the left wing. His unpredictability is elite. Not just on the pitch, also off it. No one predicted he'd willingly join Barcelona's economic escape room. He puts up a goal or assist every other match, which makes him a better investment than most crypto coins Barca's considered lately. Barca fans say, we need a DM. Laporta replies, here's another winger, you're welcome. And sure, Barcelona's midfield may be gasping for breath and their defense held together by duct tape and nostalgia, but who cares, right? As long as there's someone out wide doing stepovers like it's a TikTok challenge, everything's fine. Strategy? No. But dribbling? Yes. Always yes. 5. Athletic Club. The Heartbreak Hotel. Back in Bilbao, Athletic's president is giving emotional TED Talks about loyalty and keeping players like Nico. Meanwhile, the player he's talking about is texting Yamal emojis and checking housing prices in Catalonia. Athletic resisted last year, but this summer they've accepted fate. The relationship is strained, like when your best friend starts dating your ex and says, it just happened. Athletic Club tried. They offered him more money. They offered him love. But Barcelona offered chaos. And Nico said, sign me up. President John Uriarte probably has a dartboard with Laporta's face on it by now. Athletic's transfer strategy now involves manifesting loyalty through vibes and tradition. Watching your academy star join Barcelona is like raising a child for 22 years, only for them to run away with the circus. And you just know Athletic fans are going through the stages of grief, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally, watching him do keepy-uppies in a Barca jersey while whispering traitors under their breath. At this point, losing talent to Barcelona should be listed as a side effect on their season ticket terms and conditions. 6. What happens now? So can Barcelona actually pull this off? That depends on how many contracts they can shred and how many mystery revenue streams they can discover by next week. Nico Williams is ready. He's packed. He's smiling. All Barca has to do is solve the salary cap or stage another documentary about it. Will they pull it off? Will they register him? Or will Nico be the most expensive bench ornament in club history? Stay tuned. If Barca does register him, expect the club to hold a victory parade just for that. If they don't, Nico may start his Barca career the same way most fans experience it, watching from the couch. La Liga's office must have a separate fax machine just for Barcelona's pleas. At this point, registering Nico Williams will require divine intervention or another economic lever. Barca's solution to everything: sell a parking space, buy a superstar. And if all else fails, expect Laporta to appear on a live stream holding a magic wand announcing Lever 9, the resurrections, while standing in front of Camp Nou's construction site like he's auditioning for The Apprentice, Financial Crisis Edition. Because when you're Barcelona, logic is optional, but drama is mandatory. Closing thoughts. Nico Williams and the magical mystery signing. So what do you think? Can Barcelona actually afford this move? Or are they just writing fan fiction again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Smash that like button if you've ever tried to buy something you can't afford. Looking at you, Barca, and subscribe for more financial fantasy football. And remember, just because you've agreed personal terms doesn't mean you're registered, especially if you're Barcelona.